Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Jeremiah Gomo. I want to have a discussion today concerning the differences between Dangote Industries and the federal government of Nigeria. You see, when I watched and listened to Aliko Dangote yesterday about this complaint how he's been treated or how his business is being sabotaged by the Nigerian government, I felt pity for him because Nigeria has happened to him. You see, when people use that phrase, may Nigeria never happen to you. You know, now Aliko Dangote now understand that phrase. May Nigeria never happens to you. Nigeria is beginning to happen to Aliko Dangote. I don't think he thought in his lifetime that Nigeria would happen to him. Alhaji Aliko Dangote has been a friend to every single president that has ruled Nigeria since 1999. But this current president is not a fan of Alhaji Aliko Dangote. You can clearly see it. There is no relationship. You can see there is no camaraderie between them. You know, when the president was elected, Alhaji Aliko Dangote was nowhere to be seen. The first time Alhaji Aliko Dangote visited Aso Rock was when Bill Gates came to Nigeria. I think Bill Gates took Alhaji Aliko Dangote to the villa. So you can clearly see there is a friction between the current president and Alhaji Aliko Dangote. I do believe the current president believed Alhaji Aliko did not show support for him while he was aiming to become the president of Nigeria. That is my assumption. I'm not saying I'm right, but I believe that is my assumption and perception. But I want to make this clear to the Nigerian government and the Nigerian nation. If you are willing to sabotage the biggest investor in the Nigerian economy in the last 40 years, you are willing to sabotage his industry or his businesses, then I don't see why you're busy going around the world, gallivanting around the world looking for foreign investors. Do not think foreign investors are stupid. They've seen the way you treated Alhaji Aliko Dangote and you expect them to come to Nigeria and invest their money. They're not dumb. They're not dumb. You see, the Nigerian government is just very myopic. Let's presume what the regulator said, that the petroleum, the diesel is not clean enough, has a high sulfur content. Let's presume the regulator was right. Do you have to come online on the national media to make such proclamation? These are things you should have written to the industry and said to them that your diesel contains a high sulfur content. Please, can you update it and make sure it contains a lower content? But coming on national media to make such comment that has traveled around the world shows that you are trying to sabotage the business of Alhaji Aliko Dangote. You see, investing in Nigeria is a big risk. See, as an investor, you want to invest in Nigeria. It's like you going to your bank manager, asking your bank manager to give you all your savings, all your assets, everything you own, and you take it home and go to the kitchen and get every single cash you have and put it in the oven and burn it down. That is what it is to invest in the Nigerian economy. Because the Nigerian government and the institutions of the state does not want that country to progress. People are angry and envious that Alhaji Aliko Dangote was able to pull off a refinery worth $20 billion. Everyone understands the impact that this refinery will have on the nation and also have on the wealth of Aliko Dangote. This refinery will triple Alhaji Aliko Dangote's wealth. But a lot of people are very envious that Alhaji Aliko Dangote was being able to pull up this investment and this refinery. Nobody thought he would be able to pull it up, but he did. That shows a man who is steadfastness, a man who is determined to achieve whatever he wants. But there are certain government agencies who are doing everything to sabotage his business. First of all, I think Alhaji Aliko Dangote was a bit naive, thinking people would just fold his hands, allow him to his refinery to work effectively and efficiently in Nigeria. When you go to Lagos, you see hundreds of tank farms. There are people whose major source of income is importation of petrol and diesel and aviation fuel into the Nigerian economy. These are multi-billionaires. These people have invested billions on tank farms tank farms all over Nigeria. You think they will fold their hands and allow Alhaji Aliko Dangote to kill their business? So Alhaji Aliko Dangote was a bit naive, thinking it was an easy ride. These people are doing everything to frustrate Alhaji Aliko Dangote. That is why he's having problem in getting crude. The NNPC, the state refinery, has not been able to refine one single drop of crude oil for over 20 years. Not one single drop has been refined. But they have spent billions of dollars in resuscitating this refinery, and they have failed. So seeing Alhaji Aliko Dangote succeeded, they are not happy. So they are trying to sabotage the business to show to Nigeria that, oh, Alhaji Aliko Dangote has not been able to function properly. So that they can continue in looting the treasury. That is what is happening with Alhaji Aliko Dangote. So I feel pity for this man. If the biggest investor in Nigeria could be treated this way, then I pity those who are looking to invest in Nigeria. You see, in Nigeria there are hundreds of Aliko Dangote, but nobody hears about them because everybody knows Alhaji Aliko Dangote because his wealth is in the public. His businesses are listed on the stock exchange, so you can be able to calculate the value of his assets. I can tell you categorically, there are more people in Nigeria richer than Alhaji Aliko Dangote. But these people do not come out because their investment are not in the public. Their investment are outside Nigeria. You see them, the only time you notice them is consumption. You see them when they're in their houses, the cars they drive, the way they spend money. That is when you notice these are very rich people. There are rich people in Nigeria, richer than Aliko Dangote, but they do not invest in Nigeria. They do not have the love for country. If we have 10 or 20 Aliko Dangote in Nigeria, Nigeria will be a different country. But Alhaji Aliko Dangote has shown he loves this country, has shown he is willing to invest his money in Africa and Nigeria. If Alhaji Aliko Dangote want to have a peace of mind, let me make this clear. Alhaji Aliko Dangote can take his resources to the Western world, invest in American bonds, the American stock market, in different financial organizations in the West. He will be 3 times richer than what it is today. But because the man loved his country and loved his continent, that is why he's investing in Africa. And a lot of people keep saying, oh, he's having too much favoritism from government. Why are the other billionaires in Nigeria failed to invest in the Nigerian economy in Africa as a whole so they can get the same favor? Alhaji Aliko Dangote deserves every favor he gets from the Nigerian government or any other African government because he is the only African and Nigerian that is willing to commit billions of dollars in investment in the African continent. There is no African living today that invests as much as Aliko Dangote in the African continent. Just give me one African that you think invests more than Alhaji Aliko Dangote. Alhaji Aliko Dangote is not just investing in Nigeria, he's investing in West Africa, East Africa, Southern Africa. He has investment everywhere. So seeing him in this state of mind shows that he has been tolerating this sabotage for too long. I think it has come to a conclusion where he has decided, you know what, I need to speak out. I am tired of tolerating the sabotage of my business. That is why he made a comment that he's willing to let go of the refinery so NNPC can purchase the refinery so they can run it the way they want. You see, that is a man who is fed up. If Alhaji Aliko Dangote can be fed up of the way businesses are run in Nigeria, then why will foreign investor want to risk he or our own money in the Nigerian economy? You see, when you have people managing or governing a nation, people who are grossly incompetent, people who are very myopic, do not understand the impact the mistreatment of Alhaji Aliko Dangote would have on the Nigerian economy, then you know they are clueless. Treating Alhaji Aliko Dangote this way shows that the Nigerian government is grossly incompetent. The Nigerian president has spent over $100 million this year alone, gallivanting around the world, looking for foreign investors to come and invest in Nigeria. While the biggest investor in your country is complaining, is not happy, you do not see the need to resolve the issue that Alhaji Aliko Dangote is having. You are busy gallivanting the world looking for an investor. Are you telling me if Alhaji Aliko Dangote was a European or a Westerner investing to have invested $20 billion in the Nigerian economy, he will get the same treatment with what he's getting from the Nigerian government? Absolutely not. You know, African leaders worship Caucasians and worship Western people. If Alhaji Aliko Dangote was a European or a Nigerian, or sorry, an American, he will never be treated the way he's been treated. Alhaji Aliko Dangote is the biggest investor in Nigeria in the last 40 years. I stand by my statement. If I am lying, somebody should prove me wrong. This man has invested significantly in cement, has invested significantly in the refinery. Just the refinery is $20 billion. The cement is equivalent to about $6 billion. He has sugar. He has other investment he has in Nigeria. So in total, Alhaji Aliko might have invested close to $40 billion in the Nigerian economy. And you are not taking him seriously. You are coming online to discredit his brand without empirical evidence. You see, African leaders are as dumb as fuck. They just believe in seeing foreign investors. Foreign investors is the only way they can develop. They see the white man as somebody coming to help them, to liberate them from their struggle. Why you have indigenous people who are willing to develop the country, but due to fear and lack of opportunity, lack of sincerity of purpose, a lot of Africans or Nigerians are not investing in the country. Like I said, there are hundreds of Aliko Dangote in Nigeria. Nigerians have a lot of very, very wealthy people, but they're not investing in the country because they are terrified that one government can come tomorrow and take over their business and destroy their business. But Alhaji Aliko Dangote have taken the risk to invest his money, billions of dollars, and you come online, the regulatory agency chairman come to the national media to discredit his refinery. I really felt sad and I was so angry when I watched the statement by the regulatory chairman. It's a disgrace to you people if you can treat your biggest investor the way you've treated Alhaji Aliko Dangote, and you are gallivanting around the world looking for foreign investors when you've not been able to treat your own citizen the right way, the biggest investor. Are you telling me that a European investor will come to Nigeria and invest $20 billion? It will never happen. They cannot invest $20 billion in Nigeria. They can invest $20 billion on the continent, but not in one country. So if this man has invested so much resources in your country and you are trying to discredit the brand, you're trying to destroy his reputation, it shows the kind of country the kind of country Nigeria is. You know, may Nigeria never happens to you. You know, I used to hear those phrases. This phrase is what is happening to Alhaji Aliko. Nigerian has happened to him for the first time, and he is struggling. He does not seem to understand what is going on because he has always had his own way. He has only had the listening ears of whoever has been in power in Nigeria. But the current government is not a friend, or it's not listening to him. For me, Alhaji Aliko should be given priority, should be given all the necessary favoritism to ensure his business succeed in Nigeria, because this man has taken a risk that nobody was willing to take. Nigeria has a refinery for over 20 years. It hasn't produced a single drop of petroleum, while billions of dollars has been looted in terms of maintenance and refurbishment of the refinery. Nothing has worked. Last year we heard the refinery is going to function by December. Nothing happened. We heard again it's going to function again by May. Nothing happened. You see, that country is just sick. It's sick that people are not willing to allow that country to function. There are so many cabals, there are so many people, big men who does not want that country to succeed. I say that's why Nigeria needs a very ruthless leader, a leader like President Putin, that will come into that country and completely flush out these corrupt entities who have stood on the neck of that nation, preventing it from achieving his own dreams. Alhaji Aliko Dangote has done everything within his power to invest his resources in Nigeria. That man is, I believe, is the highest employer of labor in Nigeria outside government. And people talk absolutely rubbish, saying, oh, he has too much favoritism from government. He has so much waivers, tax waiver. He deserves every tax waiver. It's exactly the same thing happened in the West. The mega corporations of Western companies do not pay taxes. Amazon doesn't pay taxes. Subway, McDonald's, what's it called? Tesla. This company does not pay taxes. Most of them are not even registered in the country where they are located. They are registered in offshore countries. So they pay zero taxes. So even if Alhaji Aliko Dangote is having tax waivers, he deserves it because he is contributing significant resources to the Nigerian economy and the African economy in general. But you see, African people are so myopic that you just come online and listen to people's comments judging him, that saying, oh, he's always had his way, he's always had opportunity from different government. So now Nigerian has happened to. Yes, Nigerian has happened to him at the detriment to the Nigerian nation. If Alhaji Aliko Dangote could be disinterested in investing in the Nigerian economy, I don't think any foreigner would be so silly to come to Nigeria and invest. If your biggest investor is disinterested, he has lost hope, he is hungry, he is feeling sabotaged by the country, by the government, by the institutions of the state, and you think a foreigner, a European, or Asian, a Middle Eastern, or an American will want to come to Nigeria and invest, you must have your brain. You must have your brain. You must have something wrong with your brain. No investor would come to Nigeria after seeing the way the government and the institutions of the Nigerian state are treated Aliko Dangote. If that refinery was built in Europe, Alhaji Aliko Dangote will be so worshipped and praised by the government of that nation. He will be dining with president and prince and royals around the world. He will be, if he was in England, he would be given a knighthood. But you see Nigeria, enviness. People see it as Alhaji Aliko Dangote Refinery. It is not. That is a Nigerian company. But you guys are so dumb as fuck that you don't seem to understand. When Americans said American company, the American government does not own any company. The company is owned by American individuals and American shareholders. Is a company owned by the country. So Alhaji Aliko Dangote Industries is a Nigerian company. Until we begin to have leaders who can think that way, don't see individual businesses as their own. It's a representation of the country. When the British government takes the CEO of Tesco on a tour to China or United States, Tesco is not owned by British government. Tesco is owned by private individuals and shareholders. It is a British company. British Airways is not owned by the British government. It is a British company. It serves as a representation of the nation. But African leaders and African people, Nigerian government, see it as, oh, it's a Dangote industry. Why are we trying to make Dangote become super rich? That is where the enviness is coming from. People are envious that the man has accumulated so much wealth. This refinery will make him the biggest refiner in the continent of Africa. He will make more money, will become super rich. People are just trying to sabotage it. That is why you cannot have the Elon Musk of Africa. No African will be allowed to accumulate so much wealth like Elon Musk have accumulated, or Jeff Bezos, or the what's it called? The guy that owns Facebook. The government will sabotage them because of this envy mentality among African people and Nigerian people. We do not like to see ourselves succeed. Once you succeeded so much, there is a plan to bring you down. That is what is happening to Alhaji Aliko Dangote. I hope Alhaji Aliko Dangote is able to resolve this issue. Why would Alhaji Aliko Dangote live in Nigeria, going to the United States, going to Brazil, now Libya, Angola to get crude oil? Why the crude oil just behind his house? Nigerians should be ashamed of themselves. The Nigerian government should be ashamed of themselves. That you are an oil producing country. You call yourself the biggest producer of oil in Africa. You cannot provide crude oil to a refinery based in your country. This government should be ashamed of itself. You should be ashamed of yourself. You are a disgrace. to the continent, and you are a disgrace to the world. If a refinery based in your country has to go to the United States, has to go to Brazil, has to go to Angola, Libya, a war-torn country, to get crude oil in order to refine in your country. So the dollars that is supposed to be left in Nigeria is taken outside to get more crude oil. You should be ashamed of it. You see, when you have a nation governed by clueless people, this is what you get. You think you are punishing the man. You are not punishing the man. You are destroying your nation. You are destroying the reputation of your country. That is why the news is all over the Western world. What is happening with Alhaji Aliko Dangote Refinery? The government should be ashamed of itself. I do believe Alhaji Aliko Dangote must remain steadfast, must remain resilient. If the government refuses to supply, you could get the crude oil from outside Nigeria. If they're not willing to purchase your diesel or petrol, take it outside. There are countries who are willing to purchase it. Let the country lose. But this government is a disgrace. You guys should be ashamed of yourself that you allow something that's supposed to be a pride for Nigeria. You are creating negativity because of your enviness, because of your sabotage mentality. That is why no refinery has worked. You have stolen more than $10 billion in trying to fix the refinery you have. You cannot. You have not been able to fix it. See, the level of corruption in that country, I don't think there's any country in the continent of Africa that has so much corruption. You guys should be ashamed of it. The Nigerian government is a disgrace to allow this pride of the Nigerian nation to be having negative media. I live in the United Kingdom. I see it on the news. I've read it in Reuters. I've read it in Bloomberg. What is happening to Alhaji Aliko Dangote? You are destroying the reputation of your country, and you're looking for foreign investor. Why the biggest investor in your country is struggling to run efficiently? You guys should be ashamed. May God grant Alhaji Aliko Dangote the fortitude and the resilience to solve his problem. Thank you.